Good morning, actually good afternoon everybody. I'm afraid I look even more of a mess than normal today. Today is the beginning of a new era because of a very sad ending. Today is my mother's funeral and I'm going to the funeral in an hour, and so I just thought I'd take this time just to come out to my favourite woods with the cat and the dog. I've fed the horses, I've sorted everyone out, and I just want to be in the woods before I go and say goodbye to Mum. I'm sitting in Starbucks, Costa Coffee. I was sitting in Costa and found myself crying into my coffee as I write the speech over and over, which is getting ever longer. And I know that my brother's going to say, that's far too long, sis, you can't say all that. But I think that it's a once in a lifetime thing that you do, that you say goodbye to your mother, that you remember your mother. You only have one mother and you only get to say goodbye like this once. And so I'm going to have a long speech and I'm going to chat about all the wonderful things that she has done and all the things that she loved and all the things that I've learned from her. I'm also going to take the dog. Can't take the cat, that's a bit tricky, but the dog is going to come to the funeral. Luckily it's in a woodlands burial ground, so I think that'll be fine. And his mother, the dog's mother, is going to come as well, as that's one of Mum's friends. And writing the speech has made me think about gratitude, about what there is to be thankful for in this world, and how we need to be grateful for what we have, even the little things. I start my speech talking about the last 3 months with Mum and how the little things became so important, how having a cup of custard, and that's all she ate because it's all she could swallow at the end, was everything. And we would joke about what she'd like for dinner, custard or custard. So she had her custard. And then we would spend hours trying to get BBC iPlayer to work because of the slow downloading speeds in our house. And I would download and it would fail, and then I'd try and download something else, and then we tried Netflix and then it would buffer and then we couldn't watch it. And every evening was a big drama about what we were going to be able to watch. And if I was lucky, I was able to download it in the day when it was easier and store up things for Mum to watch. But if she didn't like what I'd stored up, then there was like, okay, what else is there? And this became like a game every evening. What could we watch? And in our own funny little way, that was like Mum and I had this little dance and this way of entertaining ourselves at night, and that became our evening challenge. What could we watch? What could we see? And she loved Let It Shine, and she loved Dragon's Den, and she loved the Real Marigold Hotel, and she watched something called The Replacement, which was excellent. Although sadly she didn't get to see the last episode, but she thought it was a very, very good series. I hope that she sat with me watching it after she was gone. I had this funny feeling when I was watching it, and I watched it on replay, and I kept looking at the chair where she normally sits, and I'm sure she was there. It was a really weird feeling. It was like I knew that the chair was empty, but it didn't feel like it was, and I couldn't sit there myself because it felt like I was sitting in her place. So I hope she was there. I hope she got to watch episode 3 with me. So right now in the woods, I feel brave. I feel like the sun is out, which is perfect for my mum. I'm out with my best friend Mario, who's sort of rapidly becoming my dog. Having been my mother's dog and Brandon's dog, he's sort of realising I'm the one that gives him food now. And he's a lovely dog, and he curled up. He knew I wasn't happy last night, so he curled up on my bed with his head on my pillow, which I'm not really normally allowing him to do, but I think on special occasions. So he put his paws in my hands and we curled up together last night because he's a special dog and he knew that I was sad. So in a little bit I'm going to be off to the woodlands burial ground, and hopefully there'll be lots and lots of people there, and I'm going to give my long speech, and I'm going to talk about what Mum meant to me and what I learnt from Mum. And being grateful for small things is one of the biggest lessons, and And never giving up is one of the other massive lessons. Always knowing that if there's a will, there's a way, and trying every which way you can, and believing in yourself, and believing that you can do anything you want to do if you really, really, really want it. And if you want to act, you can be an actor, and if you want to be a singer, you can be a singer, and if you want to be a top businessman, you can do that. And live and believing in yourself, and then finding people to help you. One of the things that I've found is really essential is don't ask people who haven't achieved things for help. If you want to ask people for advice and help, go to the people who've done it themselves, who've done it already. Because if you ask people who are limited themselves, they'll only reflect their limitations to you. If you go to somebody who's already done it and achieved and broken through the barriers, they will show you how. And that's one of the keys. And I'm very grateful to have quite a lot of people like that in my life. And I need to keep listening to their voices and not those who live in the limited boxes. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next week, is putting together all my mentors and finding out how to proceed without my mum, to live my dreams despite all the challenges ahead. So I'm going to be broadcasting a little bit of my journey every day, and I'm going to be broadcasting on my own channel, which this is probably what you're watching it on YouTube, and copying that across hopefully to Facebook and Instagram. And I hope that people would join me on my journey of how do you live your dreams in the face of adversity, and can it be done? Yes, it can. Let's all join together and let's achieve what we really truly desire for the better good of all. And on that note, I'm going to go now and prepare for the funeral and say goodbye to my mum, because she is the most wonderful person in the world and taught me everything I know. And I need to celebrate her life and cry and laugh and smile and dance at her grave, because she lived her life to the full. And that's what we all need to do. And so many of us don't live our lives to the full. We live in little boxes. We say we can't do that, it can't be done. Oh, there's not enough money, or there's not enough. Sometimes the path in front of us doesn't make sense, and sometimes we have to kind of go across a bridge and under a tunnel, and maybe we have to go up and down a few trees, and maybe the path in front of us isn't the path. But if you still look ahead to where you want to go, you can get there. And I really believe that. And I'm going to be talking and sharing my journey now with everybody, and to how can I live my dreams in the face of adversity and live as my mother wanted me to, so watch this space. And I'll be slightly less emotional hopefully in the coming days. Thank you for listening, and this is Lisa Hamilton, Ride Well Training, over and out. Bye bye.